Hello, hi, it's Victoria Griffith here, and I am the founder and director of Spectacular Woman and the author of a book called Unshakable You. And I help women to heal their heart after an abusive relationship. So I really just wanted to speak to you, jump on here and just say a few words. This morning, I was meditating and so forth, doing my daily setting of the day, and excuse me, I've got this trashy stuff going on in my throat, and through that, what came up for me was that doubt is unnatural. Now, when we think about that for a moment, doubt is unnatural. Yeah, and I'm going to explain why it's unnatural. Excuse me. Doubt, when we think about doubt, it's such a negative spiral. It stops you from doing so many things. Like, think about your own lives for a minute. Like, have you ever wanted to do something and, excuse me, all of a sudden, you're excited, you're excited about doing this thing that you want to do, or a goal that you want to achieve, or a place that you want to go. And then all of a sudden, you talk yourself out of it. Now, I've spoken about this before, but I think it's so important because as individuals, whatever we think is what is going to materialize for us. So however you're thinking about yourself, however you're thinking about your current situation or circumstance, it will manifest for you in the way that you are thinking about it. So if you're doubting yourself, if you're doubting that your circumstance is not going to get any better, then it won't. Yeah, it won't. But if we think about what we were, when we're born, we were born to believe. And just think about that for a moment. What does doubt do? It's a negative spiral. It stops you from doing the things that you want to do. It interferes with the progress that you want to make in your life. Okay? And something's just come up on the screen. And it literally blocks, it hinders you, doesn't it? And to an extent, it's like you're getting in your own way. You are getting in your own way because it's your faults. Yeah? And so you're getting in your own way. No matter what anybody has said to you in the past, whether somebody has put you down, somebody has told you you can't achieve this, at the end of the day, whatever is going to manifest for you is going to be based on what your beliefs are. Hi, Myra. How are you, dear? So this is the thing. Sorry, I keep doing that. The weather has changed over here and my throat is becoming trashy and so forth. But anyway, so doubt is stops you. And in a way, you get in your own way. And because it's your faults, as I was saying, it's your faults. It's you thinking, acting, behaving in a certain way. But first of all, it's just to understand that whatever you're thinking is what's going to transpire for you. So if you're somebody that keeps saying that you're never ever going to achieve anything, and never ever going to get this promotion, I'm never ever going to get this job, then that's what's going to manifest for you. So just let's go back, go forward, let's move forward now. And when I mentioned that, we were born to believe. We were born to believe. And think of yourself, sorry about that. We were born to believe. And so think about yourself as a child. You're carefree. You don't overanalyze anything. You just do whatever comes to mind. You do. If you're standing, just say on a sandy pit and you want to jump, 3-4 stubs in front of you, just say you had logs in front of you, and you could step to one, step to the second one, step to the third one, but you wanted to see if you can jump all three of them and make it to the fourth one. As a child, you don't think, you just think, right, I'm going to do it, I'm going to jump, and you jump. But I think as we grow up, as we develop into adults, we overanalyze things so much. We don't have that carefree spirit whereby we can just think of something, that innate natural wisdom, the spirit that you get from God, in terms of you doing what comes up for you, obviously, as long as it's positive and it's progressive and you know it's something that you want to achieve, a goal. Yeah? This is something that we need to kind of come back to. Excuse me, sorry, someone keeps ringing my phone, so it keeps cutting out, my goodness. So, as I was saying, we were born to believe. And I think we need to remember that. Good morning, sir. Mr. Abbas. Yeah, so we were born to believe. And I think we need to hold on to that. I just want to tell you a quick story. I used to play semi-professional netball. And I know some of my friends are on Facebook. And, you know, we all used to be in the same team, Queens of the Castles. And we were a reigning team for a very, very long time. And I remember when I started playing netball, I didn't have much belief in myself. And that had a lot to do with my past in terms of where I came from, what I'd experienced. Morning. How are you, my dear? And so, yeah, I didn't have much belief in myself. But it was one of these things that I knew that I wanted to do so that I could, you know, just feel a bit better within myself. It was something different. Because I came from a place where, you know, I wasn't doing much. I left school very early and I didn't do nothing. I stayed out of education for a very long time. And when I finally had that light bulb moment, so to speak, in terms of, hi Lorna, how are you? Morning, my dear. When I had that light bulb moment in terms of knowing that I wanted to change my life, there was various things that I started doing. And one of those things was I started playing netball. It was good mentally, physically, and so forth. And as I said before, when I started, I weren't that great. And I remember my sister took me to one of her training sessions. And I walked in, and, you know, I've written about this in my book, Unshakable You. And I remember I walked in, I rolled in with my sister. My sister was, you know, she had played Surrey under 16. She was, you know, she was quite a good netball player, even though she was younger than me. She was quite a good netball player. And I remember I rolled in with her. And I don't know if any of you remember the shell suits. I remember my shell suit was, hi Amanda, how are you? I remember I had a shell suit. The shell suit was like metallic two and lilac. And I remember I rolled in with my sister and, you know, I saw some of the other team members and there was two other teams because it was, it was in this college, and a few teams used to come together just to train and so forth. I remember I rolled in with my sister and people were thinking, oh, you know, they look alike, they're the same height, same stature. God, I wonder if she's as good as this Rose. And so I never forget, you know, they put me on court and I couldn't even catch the ball. I couldn't even catch the ball. And I remember I remember people sitting on the sideline that were on the team that I was playing for. So in a way, I was kind of letting them down because, you know, if they're trying to win, but they've got a team player that can't catch the ball, why are you on? So I know some of them were saying, take her off, and what is she doing? And I was so angry with myself. I remember taking off the bib and I threw it on the floor and I walked off court and I left there thinking, I'm not going to play this game again. I weren't good. I'd started telling myself I'm not good, you know, and everything else. And that night, I remember when I got home, I started to reflect on, am I going to let my own self get in my way and stop doing something that I could potentially be good at. And I decided, no, I wasn't going to allow that. And so I joined another team just to get some practice. And I was there for probably about 6 months, and I got all the training that I needed. I did all the things that I needed to do. So I started going to the gym, I started doing step aerobics, just different things, just to build up my energy, my stamina, learning the various skills that I needed to be able to be effective in a team. And I got to that place, and I never forget, this was probably about 6 or 9 months later. My sister's team, they were short, and she said to me, Vicky, come and play. We desperately need somebody. Come and play with us. And I thought, no, because I remembered how I felt that time that I went to that training session with them, and how I felt afterwards. But I thought, you know what? I think I'm a bit better now. I had confidence. I started believing that I'm better than what I used to be in terms of my gameplay. And so I went along to help their team out. And I never forget that when the game finished, I mean, they won. I'm not saying it's because of me, because it was a team effort. But I never forget that when, the game had finished, they were like, Vicky, I don't know what you've been doing. Listen, you need to come and play for our team. You need to come. And I signed up. But for me, I had to change my attitude. I had to change the way I was thinking about myself. I had to change a lot of things. So I had to drive out doubt. I had to drive it out. And I had to start believing that I could be a good player. I could catch the ball. I could do all the various things that I needed to do. I'm not going to say certain phrases because some of you might not be familiar with it. But anyway, and so that is what I did. But even when I did get into playing at a higher level, there was various things I used to do to outwit my opponent. So when I stepped on court, I would already say, I've already won her. I've already defeated her. She's not touching none of those balls. She's not coming in the circle. I'm going to block her. She's not. And the self-talk, the belief that I had in myself that was telling me I was going to defeat her, enabled me to do just that. So I think in every area of our life, we need to be thinking about how we can drive out doubt. Drive it out. Because if you remember, I was saying, whatever you're thinking about your circumstance, your situation, that is how it's going to materialize for you. So I encourage you, to just be mindful of what's going on in your mind. And if you ever get that, that thought of doubt, you can't do something, you can't achieve this, know that it's possible, you can. But you've got to change your thinking, and you've got to be consistent with driving out doubt, because we were born to believe. We were born to believe. And that's all I've got to say today. So I hope that it has helped somebody this morning. And if it has, write me a comment, and let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, bye peeps, have a blessed day.